is up, my friends? How are you guys doing today? I hope everybody's having a great day. Wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, I hope you're fantastic. Thanks for stopping in and talking with me today for just a little bit about some movies, guys. Today we're going to be talking about a movie from the year 2K. I think it probably got infected with the Y2K bug because of how bad it was. It is called South of Heaven, West of Hell, directed by none other than Mr. Dwight Yoakam. But before we get started talking about it, guys, hit that like and subscribe button for me so you can get notified when I post new stuff. Today, guys, this is going to be probably pretty, well, I'm going to slander this movie pretty good because it's one of the worst Westerns I have ever had the dissatisfaction of watching. This is by far one of the worst choreographed, one of the worst written. I don't even know if this was based on a novel. God, I hope it wasn't, because the novel was probably a piece of crap too. This just was basically, I mean, it's a generic Western. You know, sheriff in town, he used to be part of a crew. He hid some money, they hid some money, they want the money, he don't want to give them the money. He's trying to start a new life. They ride into town, they raise hell. He goes and has to, square off with them. Generic, simple, basic Western. But how many times have we watched a simple, generic Western just like that? And it resonated. You felt something. You were attached to the characters. You didn't like the bad guy. You wanted to see the good guy win and get the girl right off into the sunset like Roy Clark. But you know what? This ain't that movie. This is not that. This is Dwight Yoakam. I don't know if there was problem in the editing bay or if there was just like he's a country musician, so he's not a director. He doesn't have the eye for it. Whatever it was, and when you're watching a shootout, let's talk about our cast. We'll talk about the shootout in a minute, but let's talk, because I got to tell you about the cast in order for you to understand how lame the shootouts were. We've got Dwight Yoakam. We got Billy Bob Thornton. I love Billy Bob. We got Peter and Bridget Fonda. The Fondas, can't go wrong with them, or so you think. And then we've got Paul Reubens and Vince Vaughn. They both play like henchmen lackeys, right? Vince Vaughn is excellent. He's really good in this. Probably one of the better characters because he's got that psycho. He's like happy and go lucky, but he'll shoot you in the face at the same time, just for like looking at him wrong. So he pulls that off really, really well. Him and Dwight Yoakam, they have this, this tension, this chemistry in their tension. I liked it. I thought that was good. But what I don't like is we got people like Paul Reubens, Pee Wee Herman, right? He's got this little mustache, goatee. He's not an actor. He's not an intimidating actor. He's not someone who could, make me feel a certain way like I should be afraid of him. But he's playing a henchman that is, you're supposed to be like, oh, God, he's unstable. No, all I see is Pee Wee Herman. You can't put Paul Reubens in a film and not diddy him up some way with some makeup, or put him up in a, make him look intimidating, make him look ugly, nasty, gross, something. That's another thing about this movie. When you're watching a Western, you want it to be realistic, I say. It needs to look like the time that it was supposed to be filmed in. Mid to late 1800s, early 1900s, right? It's so clean. There's no horse caca in the street. There's no mud. There's no, the clothes are incredibly clean. Everybody looks bathed, I mean, let's face it. People back then, they bathed like once a month, maybe. The houses of ill repute probably were not the best, sanitary kept. Like I'm saying, the saloons and everything were just gross. Everything, spittoons and backy spit on the floor, like they were gross. That's how they looked. When I'm watching this movie, I'm seeing Lonesome Dove, like my friend Nick said. It's so clean. Everything is clean. There's no grime. There's no dirt. Even the people look good. You know what I mean? People don't have dirt on their face from working out in the field. They ain't got, mud and blood on their face from all the fighting. Nothing. it was so sanitary that it was off-putting, if you catch my drift. It didn't appeal to me in that. And now let's get to the shootouts. Like I said, maybe there was trouble in the editing bay. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just, maybe it was just, again, Dwight Yoakam not having an eye for action or directing. Because when I'm watching this is 2000s. This is pre, everybody getting upset about gun control. This is pre, we need to put fake guns in movies and just use CGI for the muzzle flash and all that kind of stuff like that. This is pre all that. This is pre CGI weaponry. And for them to be shooting guns, there's no muzzle flashes. The sound editing for the gunshots, everything sounded like it was from, to me, sounded like it was from like a 1950s Western where everything was like, pew, pew, pew. Like it didn't sound like a real gun when they were firing. It sounded like a cap gun. And to me, that was off-putting as well. I just did not dig the fact that it was so clean. The shootouts were, when they would have a shootout, it's almost like they had a budget to film it, but then when it came to like squib work where blood and all that, they minimalized it to the point where it was like the shootouts were unbelievable. Because you'd see one guy and he'd be like, oh, and blood splatter out of his chest, and then another guy standing beside him be like, ah, and just fall over. Like it was a 1930s Western where they didn't have special effects. It was just so, I guess the best word for it would be half-assed. It was a half-assed movie. It wasn't, you could tell Dwight Yoakam, maybe it was a passion project for him, but it sure didn't feel like it. It felt like he was just kind of winging it the whole time. The acting, like I said, was between Vince Vaughn and Dwight Yoakam was good, but everybody else sucked. Even the Fondas were just, secondary in this. So, and then Dwight Yoakam as our main character, our sheriff, was terrible because if the writing did not match with how he delivered the dialogue, they tried to make it sound old-time dialogue, but really the way he delivered it just sounded forced and stupid. So I just didn't like that. I thought that the whole movie as a whole was a piece of garbage, and I don't know why it was made. I hope it didn't get a theatrical release. I didn't look it up. I'm hoping it went straight to Hollywood or Blockbuster Video. That's what I'm hoping, because this was not worth the celluloid it was printed on. It's not worth the data that you would use to stream it and from your phone or from your internet. It is a terrible movie. I don't recommend it. 2 thumbs down. And the funny thing is, I caught it the last couple of days when it was on Prime Video. It's nowhere to stream now. So that's good for you guys that it is nowhere for you to have to watch it. I don't recommend it. So just forget about South of Heaven, West from Hell. I took that bullet for you because I love you. And don't waste your time, guys. That's it. I appreciate y'all hanging out and talking with me for just a little bit about this movie. Guys, and before you hit the road, before you get out of here, hit that like and subscribe button, guys. I really appreciate it. As always, my friends, I'm going to keep making them as long as you guys keep watching them. Peace out. God bless you, and I will see you soon.